ZAP attacks are already strong at Town Hall 16, but in today's video, I'll be showing you guys how to combine the Root Riders and the Super Barbarians to overpower every single style of bases. So without any further ado, let's dive into it. And the very first base is going to be on this particular common box base. Now, if we take a look at the time, just take a note at that, as we are going to be able to see how efficient and fast this attack can really be. Now, I will actually say that this attack, this setup is really sort of like the Sui ZAP Lalo, but the only difference is that this right here, you don't necessarily have to wait until your heroes are dead, because you can actually just utilize so much and to keep the heroes alive with the Root Riders in combination. As you're going to see throughout the course of this video, you'll be able to understand and see why this is so fast and powerful. So as you noted there, we actually did take out that monolith on the left hand side. We took out the poison, multi-archer tower, and we do have the golem and the queen working with the fling flinger towards that 3 o'clock side. So essentially what I want to do here is essentially send my queen on this to be able to get the town hall, and then have my king go straight into for the queen and grab the queen and be able to get the CC pool. That way I can storm the Root Riders into on the bottom right hand side of the base to be able to push through there. So really nice touch with this is having the frozen arrow on the archer queen. As you can see there, right there, she does have the archer queen, frozen arrow, to be able to slow down the enemy RC to be able to push through it. So now we don't have to wait for the heroes to die out, because now we can just start our attack, so we don't actually ever have to run out of time failing. So the only thing I will say is that if I had sent the Root Riders on the top left hand side on this side of the base, I would have been able to keep the queen alive to be able to work with the cleanup of this specific army. So nonetheless though, this is still okay though, because as I said, we do have the king staying alive to support that push with the cleanup. And this is exactly why this army is so efficient, because you have Super Barbarians in combination in the pocket, and they can actually be utilized many purpose for that. They can actually be used to actually kill defenses and take those down so that your Root Riders stay in the base. Or like as you saw, as I initially did there, I used them to actually funnel for my heroes. So again, those are kind of a multi-purpose using Super Barbarians, because we are able to take advantage of it and use it as not only just for funnel, but for the cleanup as well. So really super nice hit there. As you see, the flame flinger is in the core of the base still there. We still have RC ability attack, we still have the Root Riders, and of course we still have that Barbarian King. If you have actually started the other way, either one of the heroes would have stayed alive. In this case, since I started on the king side, the king is actually going to stay alive on this particular replay. But again, we are going to walk away with the 40 cups yet for the very first triple. So now let's take a look at the very next base. All right, and we are back with the very next box base. Now, instead of being an exposed town hall there, I kind of wanted to show you guys a specific base and where the town hall is actually a little deeper inside of the base, like this one. So first thing is that you can actually utilize, the ones I would suggest would be the log launcher, the battle drill, and of course the flame flinger. So those are probably the most going to be the commonly used siege machines there. But with this one, I kind of noticed all heroes are stacked on this one specific side, and that's where I'm going to just take advantage of it, because I'm going to actually zap out the scatter, as you saw there with the combination, that expo there. So now what I kind of want to do is use a log launcher with the hero dive to actually push through the core of the base and to be able to pull this poison and get inside of this compartment. But you're going to see how unfortunate there it was for this log launcher to be targeted by this ground expo on the left hand side. Right here, it's going to actually lock onto my log launcher and cause it to actually open, and then I'm not going to be able to actually open the walls as I initially intended for. So that's a little bit unfortunate there, because if the heroes are actually been able to get through the core, because now what you're going to see here is that the queen is going to be taking left damage and the king is going to be taking just this archer tower, and this caused a little bit troublesome, because now I'm gauging in CC. There's nothing tanking for my heroes, because if the king was in front of the queen, the king would be taking the damage instead of my queen. So noticing this, I immediately wanted to start the Root Riders, because if you take a look at the pathing, it is going to be straight and narrow through the town hall like so. So that's exactly what I kind of wanted everything to path to go on this back end side. And notice there, I actually have one Root Rider sitting there in the pocket right here. This is where I want to be able to use it to go here, and then be able to trim these defenses and go on this side of the base, audition with those Super Barbarians, so that these Root Riders can actually push through the town hall. So here we go. We do luckily get that king finally through the wall after 3 business days. He is going to be able to work on this Inferno Tower, and then everything is going to kind of collide and collapse on this very bottom side. You take a look I am actually going to be freezing that multi Inferno and the Ricochet Cannon, as those actually do the most damage. So the Ricochet Cannons and multi do have a lot of damage, especially when you're coming out of that Town Hall Poison, like so there. But we are actually getting a little bit lucky there at the end with the tankage of the Root Riders and with the RC, with the Fox. And the Fox unfortunately does go down. The RC was going to be able to clear out the rest of the base like so. So we do have the Warden. We still have the Yeti still working around. I believe that was from the actual Siege machine itself. But yes, with those tankage right there on the final step of the attack, we do get this triple because of that World Champion staying alive, working on those last two defenses with the Warden. So a little bit unfortunate there, but this just goes to show the power of the Root Riders if you're able to get out a Zap and some sort of Sui to actually deal and handle with the CC. So now let's proceed and move on to the very next attack on a Diamond base. Alright, and next up, like I did mention, we are going to actually move on and proceed towards the Diamond base, as we've already taken a look at semi-teaser base and a box base. So this one, now Diamond bases, there's actually a few ways to do it. It really just varies on depending on where the defense is located, but usually the battle drill and of course the log launcher may just be the best option for this one. So first thing first, what I am noticing on this particular base is the zap value. Obviously you can get a scatter shot. In this case, I'm going to be able to take down the right hand side, because now I am going to be able to use the Super Barbarians and trim some of these trash down so I can start my queen and essentially have the queen to go in on this side with the king. So that's another purpose, like I've already mentioned, utilizing a Skelly spell and these Super Barbarians. It actually sets up such a nice narrow pathing for your heroes to go inside anywhere you would like. So here, Super Barbs clear the right side, Super Barbs clear the left side. Now the heroes, in combination with the Golem and the King there, is going to be able to work and take down this Town Hall and go through there to be able to pick off the single. Because what I essentially want to do there is be able to get the King and the Queen to go inside and then start my Root Riders on this side of the base and use my Battle Drill to actually pad towards this single Inferno Tower so everything can kind of work through the back end of the base like that. So that was the ultimate goal of that. And I will always say, you always want the heroes to actually engage the enemy clan castle and deal with those for you, and never your Root Riders, because having your Root Riders stalled up inside of that, especially having all this damage at the start and then being stalled up by the CC, you're always going to have not great success with that. So again, you kind of always want to make sure you are using your heroes in a way so that you encounter and engage the clan castle and not have the Root Riders, because you want the Root Riders to actually get the best maximum value out of it, and the only way to do so is to have them constantly moving through the base and not stalled up on an enemy clan castle. So moving along here, we do have the enemy clan Ice Golem still there, unfortunately, but that is okay because the pathing is already set and narrow, and we do have the Yetis working on the Inferno to be able to take that down. We do have RC working on the top side, and then her ability with the Grand Warden still intact, just trimming down these defenses and working on the final defenses that are remaining standing. So RC is still alive. We do have the Yetis still hanging on there on dear health there, but we are going to be able to walk away with this triple there and get us another 40 cups because of the RC. So I will say the heroes dying inside of the poison was not the best and ideal, but again, we are wrapping it up with yet another 40 cups. All right, and we do have yet another Diamond base here. Now this one is kind of a little, stacked Town Hall compartment. As we take a look there is actually not many great zap value behind the Town Hall to be able to deal with the heroes in Town Hall at the initial start, as that's exactly what I would actually do if there were zap value behind the Town Hall. So in this situation, that is actually not a problem because, again, like I've said, a log launcher or battle drill on a specific diamond base. In this case, I am actually going to utilize that log launcher. So zap wise, I'm actually going to target this, as you saw, the monolith, and then that single Inferno addition with that sweeper just kind of sets that funnel. And here we go. We are utilizing the Super Barbarians to be able to take those funneling, edging of those buildings so that I can get my push going straight from this top side and go straight towards the core of the base to be able to pick off that core multi-Inferno. So that's the benefit of having the log launcher. And then you also have Skelly spell. The Skelly spell, I always tend to use it to tank the monolith or a single Inferno for my hero dive. So this again is going to be a little bit easy to move through because it's just 2 expo, and taking down the monolith in that single is just less damage you have to deal with your hero dive. So here we go. We do have the king coming circling back in for the single inferno on the ice golem. We do have queen there with the Yeti CC that's going to be coming out of the log launcher. So that's a lot and enough tankage to be able to support the hero dive. And as soon as you note this and handle the CC, we are going to pick one side where the heroes are going and kind of use the Root Riders on the same side so we can get the queen or the king to actually join in with the Root Riders to push through the power of the back end of this specific base. Because if we look at the rage value there, it is actually really super stacked there. 2 ricochet cannons, 2 multi-archer tower. You have probably Tesla farm and of course the town hall. So we actually have the rage, the 3 freeze on standby so that all of this can actually push through the core and get through the town hall. So we do have headhunters coming in. We do have the first freeze coming in for the town hall and the multi-archer tower. We are waiting for the queen. Here comes the queen, is actually with the Root Riders now, which adds way more power to this because this essentially becomes a smash, but without healers, of course. So here we go. We are actually pushing through the town hall poison now. Coming out of it, we do have headhunters coming in. We do have super barbs coming in, and of course, nothing left to stop this push other than the back end scatter shot and expo. But we do have the world champion still there. We do have the queen, and of course the warden with the Root Riders, everything in front of the heroes to be able to push through the rest of the base there. So really nice utilization where you can't actually SUI the town hall because of the zap value, but you're also dealing with the CC at a less damage when you come in from the opposite side instead. So it's just using the zap as a funnel and taking advantage of the damage that you've already taken out with the zap, and then using the Root Riders to actually supplement and keep the heroes alive so that it turns into a smash attack so you can actually overwhelm the rest of the base. So really nice hit there. But now I know we've covered the box, the teaser, the diamond, and now let's jump to the ring bases. All right, and the last one of today, we are going to actually cover this ring base, as this is probably something you guys probably wanted to see and understand how to hit. So notice the time there is actually a little bit above 2-minute mark. So this goes to show the power and how fast this can actually be because of power and the push you can actually get with the Root Riders and super barbs. So here we go. I know we could probably reach that multi-inferno, but since it's actually not a single, I didn't want to actually risk it missing the monolith. So instead there, I'm actually playing it safe, getting the monolith, getting that scatter shot, and that's exactly all I needed, because now what I am doing here is establishing a funnel and get the CC, because I've already talked about you always want to encounter the CC when you do a push like this. So this is why I'm going on this side, because it's the opposite side of what I zap. So I can pick off this scatter and this multi and then send my Root Riders on this side of the base with the battle drill so that it can actually open walls for my heroes to keep them all alive. So again, with the hero push here, all I'm necessarily wanting to do is get the CC out and deal with it, and then I'm starting the Root Riders, because as I already talked about, you do not want to encounter the Root Riders with the CC right there as well, because that's going to be the weakness of this, is that it will be able to stall down every single one of your troops and potentially take them all out. So here we go. Like I've already talked about, we are using the battle drill to open the wall so that when the heroes beat through this wall, they're going to be able to support with this, and now it all just becomes a smash. So that's the whole purpose of this, is to be able to start super early and utilize this as a smash, and that's exactly why you're going to be finishing and tripling the base as fast as under 2 minutes or a little bit above 2 minutes, because you are actually keeping everything alive. So we do have like 40% of the base in under 30 seconds that we're going to be able to take it down. So that was super duper nice. Here we do have the Root Riders moving through the core, through the poison. We have the battle drill still intact. We have the RC coming in on the very bottom side. We have the Skelly spell as well, and this is where we just, since there's no single infernos we have to deal with, I decided to use it on the back end to get some tankage. But obviously we did not need it because we still have the Queen ability intact, RC ability still intact, and of course that battle drill is still moving. So again, this just goes to show the power of this, is that once you do just get a zap value, SUI to where you can get the CC pool and you start the Root Riders afterwards, you're just going to be able to have good success just like this. And that's going to do it for today's video. If we take a look at the hero equipment here that I have set for this specific army, we do have the Rage Vial in addition to the King's epic equipment, that King's Gauntlet for the Barbarian King. Additionally, for the Archer Queen, we do have that Frozen Arrow attached with the Invisibility Vial. Of course, for the Grand Warden, we are going to have that Eternal Tome with the Healing Tome. And lastly, for that Royal Champion, that's going to be the classic ones there. So I hope you guys really enjoyed today's video. If you guys did, make sure you guys go ahead and give it a like. Comment down below what you guys would like to see in our next video by me. But until then, guys, I'll catch you all in the very next one. Ghost out.